This is the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre... Scariest restaurant, but also the most mediocre one in America. I'm your host, Michael Ornelas.
And I'm your host, Garrett's Work.
And in this show, we're looking for the perfect 5.00 experience out of 10.
Ooh.
In this show, we go to places and evaluate them based on their atmosphere.
Based on their service.
And of course, based on the food.
Yum.
This week we went to a paragon of mediocrity, it would seem.
A mediocrity classic.
TGI Fridays, one of the places that I consider it a heavy hitter in this game.
Like, if you have a name of a week in your name, you're pretty important.
Yeah. Can you imagine just a restaurant called Mondays? I don't think anyone would eat there. Ruby Tuesdays exists. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised no one's capitalized on Saturday.
Fine dining, party of two.
Anyways, our table is ready, so let's go on into TGI Fridays.
Your table is ready, follow me. Have you tried our chicken breast? Serving pancakes and ribs, I recommend the spaghetti. We're here to satisfy, not to impress. Your table is ready, complimentary butter and bread. These walls have road signs, knick-knack, cowboy hat, good luck cat, autographed guitar, some crap from your city. Behold the tchotchke of mediocrity. Fine dining, just fine dining, fine dining. Two letters on the sign aren't shining. Neon flickering, irregular timing. Identify the perfect five out of 10. Fine dining. Fine dining.
Hey there, Fine Dynamaniacs. Before we get too far into the episode, I just want to take a quick second to allow our friends over at The Snack Show with Jamie Fallon to tell you about their podcast.
Hi, everyone. This is Jamie.
And this is Fallon.
And we co-host a podcast called The Snack Show with Jamie Fallon.
Every Friday, you can find Jamie and I embark on a weekly journey all about snacks, y'all, because everyone loves snacks. So let's talk about it. In each episode, we focus on a different type of snack. Chips, cookies, road trip snacks, holiday snacks, and so much more.
We've also got special guests sometimes, listener call-ins each week sharing their favorite snack, and always differing opinions, so there is something for everyone. We also have video episodes available on Spotify and YouTube.
So if you love to snack, come join us over at The Snack Show and check out our latest episodes, streaming everywhere you listen or watch your favorite podcasts.
First impressions.
I'm not trying to force this to be spooky, but in a way, it kind of was a little spooky. Like, I felt like
we walk in and there is no music.
There was a lot of dark corners, lots of just weird shadows.
Red everywhere. It's like it's a murder room. The entire restaurant is a giant-ass murder room.
Yeah, and it's got like the red and white picnic colors, which makes you feel like you're on an abandoned carousel and there's like a clown coming after you.
Yeah, or if it were a little dirtier, it could be a perfect abandoned campground murder room.
You have a lot of experience with those?
No.
The way you avoided eye contact while saying that was noteworthy to me. One of the things I noticed even driving up that, I mean, only adds to the creep factor of this place. The outside seating area was all plexiglass. Like, usually you'll get like a top half that's plexiglass or something. But this was like from the ground to the top of the barricade, plexiglass. And it felt like a human zoo.
If only there were like a viewing room for the murder room.
Oh, God.
This is my thing on this episode, the murder room.
I mean, look, TGI Fridays put forth the vibe that it put forth.
Yeah.
But it is worth noting that we weren't alone for this adventure. We actually had a group of 5. It was you, me, Steven, our cheese correspondent, Herbert, my second most likely to be convicted of murder friend, and my friend Sandy.
Hey. I don't think I'm ever likely to be convicted of murder, and nor is Herbert. Keyword convicted.
Now, there were signs when you walk inside, and they kind of stole the Outback thing. There's a big sign that encourages you to be friends with benefits. Why chain restaurants so horny?
They just want your information. Sell you targeted ads and
put
then
you on
sell
a mailing list.
Sell your information to data harvesting corporations.
Yeah, but in this episode, it's not data harvesting. It's Human body harvesting?
Organ harvesting. It's an organ harvesting ring. TGI Fridays is running an organ harvesting ring.
And take that as fact, okay? Don't take that as a bit of satire or a joke or anything along those lines. Anyone hearing this, I want this to be read back in a court of law where this part literally says, this was not a joke.
Because look at it this way.
This is a joke.
It's obviously a joke. But the thing that's not funny is how they stay in business. Like, how does a chain restaurant like TGI Fridays stay in business in today's economy other than an organ harvesting ring?
Look, times are tough, man. I hope we don't get affected by said organ harvesting ring. That would be inconvenient.
And now, a word from our totally not made up sponsor.
Oh, hi there, it's your favorite sponsor, Jub, and I'm back, here to give you an ominous warning. In this episode, you can call me Crazy Jub. Anyways, here goes. Ahem. You're going to TGI Blood, ain't ya? It's got a death curse. Basically, just some violent stuff has happened there. It's not a big deal. It's all because of the lake, which there totally wasn't actually a lake at this TGI Fridays, but for the sake of this parody, there was. Every other detail will be true, though. But there was a boat, and that's weird. Don't get in the boat, don't get in the lake, don't go swimming or skinny dipping. It's just a bad idea. And I know this because I'm a prophet of God. You're doomed. You're doomed. Doomed if you stay. So you know what? Go. 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 Come on. What are you waiting for? Get out of there. And what's up with this organ harvesting thing? That's not a part of the movies. But I guess it could be going on behind the scenes, so hang on to your organs. I gotta go get in position to be strangled to death with barbed wire. See y'all later. Okay, bye.
I don't even have all my organs. It's like,
Wait, do you really not?
let's see, what am I missing? Tonsils, I guess.
That's...
Those are kind of organs. I'm missing the organ called shame.
That is
I don't
true. I
have
will
that.
attest to that. You don't have skin, which is the largest organ in the
I'm
body.
just this bloody, gooey mess.
We always put a towel down. That's the rule with Garrett. You put a towel down so he can sit.
But hey, TGI Fridays was perfect for me. There was red everywhere, so my body stains just blended in with the environment.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah.
One of the first things I also noticed was just a big in here, it's always Friday, which, you know, could be fun sounding. In here, it's always Friday. But there's also the ominous read of that.
In here, it's always Friday.
And I kind of took it that way.
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day of Death.
Like, you're never escaping.
Mhm.
Once you're here, this is it for you. Friday is your last day. I don't care what day of the week it is. It's a Friday.
13.
So, as always, you know, we inspect the bathrooms just because we're weird-ass people.
We gotta know, like,
I even took a picture because we were talking about the urinals with our friend Sandy and how one of them is really low to the ground. And
Sandy, who is here right now?
Yeah, thanks for finally acknowledging me.
You're welcome.
so I go off to take a picture of the urinals. And speaking of investigating bathrooms, while we're recording, I'm going to go investigate your bathroom because I love that you have a bidet. And that just makes me happy. I need to buy one of those.
Okay.
I'm going to go experience your bidet for a while.
Clean up after yourself.
The bidet does all the cleaning.
All right, well, while you do that, Sandy and I are going to go into this week's Resty Fact Round-Up. All right, now, as we all know, my mom listens to every episode of the podcast, and she's not too fond of the whip noise used to round up all of these Resty facts. So to make it easier on her ears, I do cover up the whip and bury it beneath another sound effect. Sandy, what feels appropriate for a TGI Fridays?
I mean, it was kind of spooky in there.
Yeah?
Yeah, with the patrons that went there, it left me kind of questioning why they were there.
So do we want to just do, like, whatever our interpretation of a spooky noise is?
Yeah, that's fitting.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Dumb.
That was really good.
Ooh. Alan Stillman opened TGI Fridays on the Upper East Side of New York City in 1965, aiming to create a relaxed singles bar that would appeal to young people.
Wow. A singles bar.
The TGI Fridays was he wanted to get laid. That's why he made TGI Fridays.
Yeah, TGI Fridays was the earliest Tinder, essentially.
The T is for Tinder. Before becoming a restaurateur, Stillman sold chemicals, like for cosmetics and food. He thought investing in a bar would help him meet women. So he did it for himself. He opened the bar as an excuse for himself to meet women and get laid.
Because before he just sold chemicals. That's not going to get you laid.
What do? I sell chemicals. No thanks. Swipe left.
What do? I opened a TGI Fridays.
Oh.
Come to my house on the Upper West Side. It's the nicer part.
I guess you're much more attuned to New York geography than I am.
Only through rom-coms. That's where all of the rom-coms are, is the Upper West Side. That's immediately where my mind went when you said Upper East Side.
I 100% believe that's how you know it.
Ooh.
At the time, the Upper East Side was called the Girl Ghetto because there were so many young professional women living there.
Wow. What a good place for a real-life Tinder.
Ooh. The first TGI Fridays location was near a convenient route to the airport. Stillman chose it because he expected, quote unquote, a pile of stewardesses would show up.
Ew.
Yeah.
This guy's not my favorite guy.
He's a colorful character.
Also, near the airport, I guess that's why there's so many airport TGI Fridays. Maybe not why, but it makes sense now.
Yeah. He just went from town to town just looking for stewardesses to hook up with.
Ew.
It was a different time, Sandy.
It feels the same.
And one local apartment building held so many stewardesses that locals took to calling it the Stew Zoo.
Okay, we've got the Girl Ghetto, the Stew Zoo. These are all improv team names right now.
Yes, and... Ooh. It wasn't typically considered respectable for women to visit bars. Stillman wanted to change that. Here's a quote from him. Before TGI Fridays, 4 single 25-year-old girls were not going out on Friday nights in public and with each other to have a good time. They went to people's apartments for cocktail parties, or they might go to a real restaurant for a date or for somebody's birthday, but they weren't going out with each other to a bar for a casual dinner and drinks because there was no such place for them to go. I love that when talking about his own restaurant, he compared other restaurants by calling them a real restaurant. In all of that, he's like, yeah, they could have gone to a real restaurant, but they come to my place.
Wow. I mean, he's growing in my favor a little bit now. I guess it sounds like he is the originator of the girls' night out.
TGIF.
Wow.
GNO.
Shit. We got a lot to thank this guy for.
Ooh. TGI Fridays was a fast success. One of the first places with ladies' night, and within 5 years, Stillman was franchising. The second location opened in Tennessee in 1970.
This is like the discussion of when the Barbie movie came out, and everyone was like, that's why you have to center marketing campaigns around what women want to see. The TGI Fridays was the original
Barbie
proof of that. It was the Barbie movie.
Yeah. The Tennessee location in particular became a party spot in Memphis. It was the first bar in the city where you could get a cocktail. It had live bands playing and had a reputation for its young customers experimenting with drugs.
Ooh, love that last little line thrown in. What kind of drugs are we talking?
I don't have further details on that. I was not there.
Damn it, Michael.
I was not alive. Ooh. As franchising exploded, in time, more TGI Fridays started catering to suburban crowds. There was more emphasis on the fast casual food than the cocktails that made it so successful in New York.
So they're branching out. They're figuring out ladies like more than just cocktails, I guess.
They want to eat.
We're going to let them eat.
Did you know women eat?
Not until the 60s, at least.
That's when it was innovated. TGIF really
they changed.
Women were allowed to eat for the first time in history.
Women's rights.
Paving new ground.
Damn.
But he still wanted a pile of stewardesses.
True. We can't have it
let's
all.
Let's not leave that factoid behind. Ooh. In 1971, with the economy faltering, Stillman sold the chain for around $1 million. He was quoted as saying, "With $1 million at that time, you could retire and do nothing for the rest of your life. So I sold."
Yeah, at first I was like, $1 million, that's it?
Isn't that a crazy sentiment that in 1970 you're like, I can do nothing for the rest of my days for $1 million.
That's the goal, though, to do nothing for life.
Yeah, to just earn everything early. And then, do I want to travel? I think I want to travel.
I wonder if he got married, got laid or something, got a woman.
He got laid one time. He got $1 million and he used it to get laid.
One time. That's enough for me to never need sex again.
Yep. It was very good.
Well, it was from a stewardess. So the sexiest profession.
A very well-traveled woman.
Exactly.
Ooh. By 1975, Stillman was totally uninvolved in TGI Fridays. The business changed hands a couple of times, and by 1980, it was totally a family affair, no longer catering to young, hip singles.
And none ever went again.
That's sadly untrue.
Until we visited.
Ooh. By 1983, it had reached 100 locations. So he got out, got his money, and then they franchised really quickly with this more family-centered image. Ooh. In 2023, there are over 900 locations in over 50 countries.
Wow. So more than just America.
More than just America.
Are they called TGI Fridays in other countries?
They have days of the week in other countries,
I
Sandy.
know. I was like, are they called TGI Viernes in like Spanish-speaking countries?
That would be good to know. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey there, fine dining fans. It's me, Michael's son, Juicy. And while Michael's looking up whether or not they localized the name TGI Fridays when in other countries, let me tell you what I've been up to. Michael sent me to summer camp. Yay! I love camp. There's songs, there's games, they have this great big lake, and one Friday the 13th, I went swimming in it. Now let me tell you something. Given that I'm a sentient pineapple, I don't have any arms, which makes it real difficult to swim. Oh no! But luckily, they've got all those camp counselors to pull me out of the water if I'm in trouble. Help! Help! I'm drowning! Anyone! Wait, where's the lifeguard? Help! I can't swim! I can't! They were too busy making love. Yep, that's the motive for everything that happens in the Friday the 13th movie series. Anyways, I was presumed dead. But nope, I'm alive and now have a murderous bloodlust. So let me just grab my machete and, well, I guess I won't spoil it for you. Damn, Michael's Google skills are bad. Oh, okay, he's finishing up. See you later.
No, I'm not seeing anything that shows it changing its name. Although it wouldn't be TGI either.
That's true. And I guess TGI Fridays is probably like patented.
Gracias a Dios es viernes.
I like that a lot better, honestly.
Right? Ooh. Today, new franchisers are expected to open at least 3 locations and have a net worth of at least $3 million with at least $1 million liquid.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of liquid. They also have weirdly strict location requirements, like at least a 65,000 person population within a 14-minute drive of any new restaurant.
Oh, that is so interesting. I don't know anything about franchising restaurant, and I've always wondered, like, how do they choose their locations?
Yeah.
Because they're always close to other franchises.
That one is actually, I think, a very smart policy of like, we know we're so mediocre that we want to know that there are enough people here that some are going to venture on in.
If we are in rural America, we will go under. We will not survive.
There's like 4 people within like a 20-minute horse ride. And
They're
it's
the
just like,
4 biggest fans of TGI
why did
Fridays.
we open here? They're here every day and we're still just hemorrhaging money. That's the word.
We'll never go liquid.
Ooh. All right, here's a claim. TGI Fridays claims they invented loaded potato skins. They added them to the menu in 1974. Two other restaurants dispute this. Prime Rib Restaurant in Washington, D.C. and RJ Grunts in Chicago, who say they were doing it before 1974.
Yeah, we don't have to give you proof, but we did it before that.
When'd you do it? 73?
3.
Oh, yeah, really? Yeah. Either way, TGI Fridays definitely popularized them. According to the Chicago Tribune in 1984, farmers were actually boosting their potato production to keep up with potato skin demand.
Wow.
Is that not kind of depressing over the state of America?
That's wild. I bet there's one like housewife in middle America who's like, I was doing loaded potato skins.
In 1972.
Even before those other places. My family, that's all they eat.
Ooh. In 2016, TGI Fridays sold a whopping 3 million pounds of potato skins in total.
Yum.
Ooh. All right, so here's a claim that's harder to believe than the potato skins. Stillman claims he invented the first happy hour. Yeah, this guy is really trying to boost his profile just to get laid.
Here's the thing. Everything has existed forever. But if you're going to be the first person to claim, I invented that, I mean, I don't have any other dispute against that. Who else invented happy hour?
They did help popularize it, but like, you can't be like, I invented this.
Well, who else did? I think he could say that.
I don't have a counterpoint, so I'm kind of like stuck here.
If so, I mean, this is kind of the hero of the working class.
Yeah.
To invent happy hour.
Ooh. Some other funny menu items from the 1980s. Nacho Lupas.
Nacho Lupas.
A country burger with gravy.
Gross.
Steak on a stick. And deep fried artichoke hearts.
Okay.
1 for 4. I mean, Nacho Lupas just sounds like a Taco Bell time traveler went back in time and was like, the Nacho Lupa. But
let's combine all of the Mexican food in one.
The country burger with gravy sounds bad.
Yeah.
Steak on a stick.
It's a kebab.
You don't need the stick. Yeah, it's a kebab. It already exists. You don't need the stick. Just give me it's steak. Give me that.
But see, if you call it steak on a stick, you can say I invented steak on a stick, even though kebabs already existed.
So stupid.
That he's the
And I invented the happy hour. And I invented the stewardess.
Exactly.
I was the first person to put a woman in the sky.
He's got a way with words.
Pre-Amelia Earhart. Ooh. In 1984, they became one of the first chain restaurants to offer smoothies and non-alcoholic options.
Huh.
Chain restaurants weren't catering to people who didn't want to go and just turn up.
And that's me. I'm sober. I would love to go to a place that had non-alcoholic options. So TGI Fridays is growing more and more in my favor.
Oh, I love this. I love that we're winning you over. I represent TGI Fridays.
At first, I wasn't convinced.
Where's Garrett? He's taking forever in the bathroom. Ooh. Though TGI Fridays turned from more of a bar to restaurant over the years, it garnered a reputation for flair bartending, where bartenders flip bottles behind their backs and juggle glasses, etc., etc. It started in 1980 when a TGIF bartender in Marina del Rey made headlines for his flashy tricks and created a how-to video. A how-to video in 1980 when you don't have a cell phone on you is such dedication.
Yeah.
He had to rent a camcorder and take it to his TGI Fridays. I don't even know if they had camcorders in 1980.
Yeah, was he using film?
I shot this on...
It was a 50 millimeter.
Yeah. They actually shot with the same camera they used to film Oppenheimer.
Yes. It's just grain. I'm very impressed with this, but it's very MDR. It's very LA to be the first person to film yourself doing like
MDR, Marina del Rey.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you really just abbreviating like
I abbreviate everything.
TGIF? It's appropriate.
Well, there you go.
GNO, Girls Night Out.
GNO.
Yeah, the fad spread from there. So they're a less
YouTuber.
annoying Salt Bae.
Oh, yes.
That's the kind of influencer we're talking about.
Oh, man. It's the first Casey Neistat.
Great. Ooh. TGI Fridays sponsors the annual World Bartender Championship, which tests a bartender's flair, but also hilariously includes written tests.
Oh, jeez.
Like, oh shit, what'd you get on number 6? Like you're cheating off of someone to like ace your TGI Fridays
I'm really
bartending
bad at
exam.
written tests.
Yeah.
Aw.
TGI Fridays has 500 drinks, and bartenders are quizzed on how well they've memorized the recipes, garnishes, etc.
Yeah, that sounds pretty standard for a restaurant. Like waiters have to memorize stuff.
Yeah. Ooh. The garish knickknacks on the wall are another trademark of the chain. They actually come from an enormous 25,000 square foot warehouse in Nashville. About 25% of the items are crafted specifically for the restaurant chain, and the rest are antiques sourced by TGI Fridays pickers, basically like the show American Pickers, if you've seen that,
Wow.
who go around to flea markets amassing junk.
That's a job?
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
I didn't know that they sell like airplane propellers and ugly canoes at flea markets.
Only at the Rose Bowl flea.
Yeah. Ooh. In 2013, New Jersey authorities raided 30 restaurants, including 13 TGI Fridays, for filling fancy bottles of liquor with the cheap stuff and scamming customers.
Here comes the scandal part of the story.
Basically, allegedly, they charged customers for premium brand booze like Grey Goose or whatever, but actually poured them, much cheaper store-bought stuff disguised in premium bottles.
Wow.
Which I assume this is how every bar in New Jersey operates, not just...
I mean, wow. Not only is that obviously shady, but it's risky too, because people ordering Grey Goose, getting a bad hangover the next day, are more likely to give you like really bad reviews and not ever come back again.
That's true. I relate. I've had so many hangovers. And
So I often order only Grey Goose, and I'm never getting Grey Goose. And
I
I'm
only
always
eat
hungover.
Grey Geese. I have a 100% Grey Goose diet, whether it be food or drink.
Well, TGI Fridays invented the first fried Grey Geese, so you're good.
Ooh. In 2021, TGI Fridays signed a deal to open 300 ghost kitchens, those delivery-only restaurants that flood DoorDash and similar apps, which is just weird because such a big brick and mortar getting in on ghost kitchen seems almost unnecessary. Like you have so much kitchen real estate amongst all your restaurants that it just seems unnecessary.
Seems greedy.
Ooh. I'm going to go check on Garrett.
Okay. You're going to leave me here with all this stuff?
I'm going to leave you here with all this stuff. And can you handle a couple Resty facts?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to give you this piece of paper. Don't hurt yourself.
Okay. I'll be here. I'll read these.
Okay. Bye.
See ya. In 2014, TGI Fridays had a short-lived campaign where little robot drones carried mistletoe and hovered over patrons, then took a picture if they kissed. The consensus seems to be this was creepy and annoying rather than cool. Yeah, I think that feels a little pornographic. Ow. Okay, he told me not to get a paper cut, and then I totally got it. Fuck, that hurts. Okay. In 2022, TGI Fridays was one of the only international brands to resist pressure and refuse to leave the Russian market. That's really bleeding. They condemned the invasion of Ukraine and proceeds from Russia franchise fees. Oh my God, this paper cut. Ow, it won't stop bleeding. Oh my God, what shit? Oh, I guess there's that creepy lake over there. I could go swimming in it alone at night to rinse this off maybe? That seems like a good idea. It sure is super creepy here, alone, as a woman, swimming in a lake in this TGI Fridays. Guess I'll hop in this inflatable raft and just chill.
Oh man, what a perfectly vulnerable victim.
What's that? Is someone there?
No.
Okay, guess I'll just stay right here and not take any extra precautions despite definitely hearing something.
I was just kidding. I was swimming under the raft, but you noticed me, so I had to lie.
I got stabbed through this raft and through my neck.
Sorry about that.
What a specific way to die.
Anyways, I'm just gonna drag this body somewhere so that Michael and Garrett find it. Make their life easier and progress the plot a little bit.
Atmosphere.
Oh, hey, look, dead body. It's actually thematically perfect for the fact that this is a murder room.
Wait,
now
hold
there's
on.
a dead body. Someone got murdered in the murder room.
Why
Perfect.
is this not shocking to you? Why do you seem to be very casual? Sandy just died, and you're just like, oh, hey, a dead body. Anyways, this is appropriate.
It's just like walking onto a golf course and being like, oh man, look, it's a golf ball. So when you walk into a
To
murder
Fridays,
room,
you have no problem with the
it's part of the environment. You expect this. Like, would you expect a ballerina if you're going to watch the Nutcracker?
Yeah.
So would you expect a dead body if you go have dinner in a murder room?
You know, when you put it that way, I guess I feel like you're approaching this like these deaths aren't permanent. Like Sandy will be back.
I'm not talking about permanence. I just am talking about how this is appropriate for the environment.
All right. Well, let's talk about said environment. Again, I kind of mentioned those red and white picnic colors, like the
candy striping.
Is that what it is?
I don't like it's.
You
like,
tend to know like visual design
I guess
names.
like kind of like the red and white stripe pattern. That goes back to the whole candy striper thing from like nurse aides in hospitals back in the day. Also, look at the barbershop pole. Sometimes it's red, white, and blue. Sometimes it's red and white. Sometimes it's red and blue. But the striping pattern is consistent.
And what we mixed with that here is a big sports bar. Lots of TVs.
And these are old ass TVs. Okay, these TVs were from like pre-2010. You could tell they were falling apart.
They were kind of
thick
like
boys.
They were but they were the first wave of thin TVs.
Yeah.
But they are thick by today's standards. And it was just like a bunch of games. But then even still, you were not really hearing much, right?
We're hearing the games.
We're hearing
they
the
have
games.
The Dodgers game on at full volume,
But there's a bunch of different games going on. So, like, yeah, if you're watching a different game, because they had a few different things on, you're just hearing Dodgers, no music.
I think it's a safe bet to say over half of these sports fans are male.
Sure.
And males traditionally have larger bodies and more meat on the bone. So, obviously, they get more meat by playing a Dodgers game than by, say, playing Days of Our Lives.
So you're trying to attract the meatiest demographic?
Yes.
Okay. The table behind us had just an active fan blowing the whole time.
Yeah, I think the AC was broken.
To me, it seemed like the type of fan that you put to like air out a stain, but it's also on like one of these chain dining tables that's made of that glossy coat over the wood and stuff to where nothing really can stain it, yet it still manages to look wood.
Have you ever tried to get blood out of things? Blood stains so much.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I thought this was a very generic atmosphere.
Oh, yeah, it's a Fridays.
I mean, so like painfully generic. And I mean, yeah, it looked a little spooky, but like on the other side of the restaurant, because there's like two distinct sections, there's a TGI Fridays logo in Russian overhead. I don't know if you noticed that. It was literally just the Fridays logo. And one of the signs behind the server station just said, "Fun fact, TGI Fridays becomes the first American casual dining restaurant chain to open a restaurant in Moscow, Russia."
They are promoting this. It's not a popular sentiment today. I feel like they should take that shit down in recent times.
Well, it is literally in a almost inaccessible to customers. There's the bathroom, and then there's like a host station that leads right to the kitchen. But I noticed it had a bunch of signs, and me being the shameless guy that I am, like squeezed in behind a few working servers and was just like, "Hi, sorry, I'm interested about the history. Do you mind if I just take a few pictures of these and read them at the table?" And they were like, "Yeah, okay, weirdo." Also hanging on the wall over this other section, there's a giant sporting rowing team boat. I don't know how many people I would say it fit. Maybe
lots.
Like a dozen, eight to a dozen, somewhere in there. But like
exactly 1 dozen trust funds fit on that crew boat.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed kind of out of place with the rest of the decor. A random boat. It brings up a question, Garrett. It makes me ask, what's going on over there? Hey, Herbert, you're here too, right?
Hello.
Do you want to go investigate the boat while Garrett and I figure out what's going on over there?
You mean the boat that's 3 or 4 feet taller than me that I can't reach? You know, the one that's inaccessible? Sure, I guess I'll go check that out. What's the worst that could happen?
Great. Hey, Garrett, what is going on over there?
I think they're trying to attract wealthy clientele. You know the wealthy taste better.
Yes, these really fancy guys, they don't know how to exert their muscles in the same way, so it's tender in the way veal is. Garrett, TGI Fridays is honestly your paradise. We've got human veal.
Oh, man. Oh, I am all down for this human veal.
But it's not infantile human veal. No. This is aged veal that has just been kept sedentary, pointing the finger and having their servants do all the work for them. Carry me around.
Oh, hey, actually, you know my favorite meat seasoning? Capital Gains.
You just kind of crush it up like a red pepper and you just shake it on. It's the most expensive container you'll find at the grocery store. I hear it has gold flakes in it, too. Yeah, I think TGI Fridays is taking the rich with this boat and kind of sending them down the river to harvest their organs and take their meat, their veal meat.
Well, what do we have here? Another one.
What's up with this weird lake inside this TGI Fridays?
I know he's not gonna hear me because I'm hiding in the bushes right now, but we went over this. It's to make the Friday the 13th parody work.
Yes. Work.
I guess the only logical thing to do here would be to take my clothes off and skinny dip. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Whoa, wait a minute. His shirt. Is that a metal band? That's not what the wealthy wear.
I guess I'll just take this boat off the wall with me.
This guy's poor. Well, I guess I've still gotta kill him, but this meat's gonna go to waste. Hey, you, don't touch that boat. That's for the wealthy. How much do you make?
Whoa. Why does my income matter?
It'll tell me what to do with your body once you're dead.
Oh my god. Dude, just put down the machete. Please, I'm begging you, please. Just put it down. Why do you keep trying to get behind me, huh? Why don't you stab me in the front, you coward?
Because I have a thing about stabbing people through the back of the throat. It's just how I like to do it. Ah, that felt nice. Here, I'll just put the body on the boat so that someone can find it later in dramatic fashion. There we go. My work is done. For now.
Oh no. It looks like Herbert was accidentally herded onto that crew boat.
He's not rich enough to be there. What's happening?
They didn't check his tax returns and now he's dead.
God damn it. His meat's gonna get mixed in and it's gonna ruin the veal. What the hell?
Someone's gonna be like, this tastes not wealthy enough. Not quite poor, but not wealthy enough. And that, Garrett, is what's going on over there? It seemed like they were really trying to force a collaboration with Crispy Rice. I know this technically comes in food, but like on the menus and on the walls, there's all this random, hey, order sushi encouragement. And I'm just like, why? I'm not here for sushi. I don't trust here for sushi.
No.
Even if you're teaming up with a reputable sushi source, I'm still not trusting it because it's in a Fridays.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's another murder route.
Give you mercury poisoning?
Yeah, something like
Or
that.
just salmonella?
I was thinking more of like the delicacy that is blowfish.
Can you imagine going to a Fridays and being like, I'll have the blowfish. Give me your most expert sushi chef. I don't know the terms of anything, apparently.
I'm down to try blowfish at a Fridays.
You want to roll the dice?
Oh, I'll roll the dice.
But yeah, overall, for a Friday the 13th, this was kind of spooky. I'm going to go one down because I did feel like my life was in danger. One thumb down on the Fridays atmosphere. And joking aside, it didn't seem super clean. It wasn't it wasn't like filthy, but it definitely had like a layer over it. You could just kind of tell. So yeah, one thumb down. This didn't inspire anything in me other than maybe a little regret.
And it didn't inspire much out of me other than, oh God, people are going to die here. And hey, whatever. It's
just the way of life.
That is life. People die. So
Sure.
0 thumbs.
0 thumbs.
Service.
Our server, I felt, made a very quick impression with me. And it wasn't necessarily a positive one. She asked if I'm a TGI Fridays rewards member, to which I said no. I don't live near a TGI Fridays because this was at least half an hour away from me, if not more.
More than that.
It just feels too far to go. So I'm like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to sign up for the rewards membership. And I got like attitude and pressure from her. It wasn't just like oh, okay. It was like but you get free chips and salsa.
I'm never really offended by that because there's going to be some manager or something that gets on her ass later for not getting that. Like, it's a metric that is tracked for employees there. I don't know that for sure, but if it's there, they're tracking it.
Sure. But when someone says no, you don't give them attitude. You don't push them further. You don't go like, you'll get $3 off your bill. What's the deal? Look, I don't want spam emails, okay? Yeah. I just don't. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm probably not going back to a TGI Fridays anytime soon. So, yeah, I don't know. It kind of set an annoyance tone that was like a two-way street. Like, yeah, I didn't appreciate it from her, but I could tell she definitely didn't appreciate me not signing up and kind of brought a tacit hostility with her.
I didn't get that.
Towards me.
I got all friendly all the time. Like, I didn't get that vibe.
Yeah, I only did because I declined the thing. By the way, she didn't offer it to anyone else. Like, if someone else had said no, then like, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got like, when someone's smiling, but you're still getting that I don't like you vibe from them. It felt like that. I didn't love it. I don't like being pressured into that kind of stuff.
You know what this is? This is corporate America turning like a low-wage employee against the customer. Like,
yeah,
which is crap. Like, it shouldn't be a fight between us and our server. The problem is with corporate. The problem's with the shareholders. They are the problem, not this poor woman trying to make money so she can pay her rent. She's not the problem.
I also did notice that there wasn't really any bussing until our table was pretty overloaded. It did kind of come at the end before we ordered dessert, but I think overall I'm just going to go one thumb down, mostly due to being shamed for not wanting $3 off my order to be on a mailing list.
And I'm just going to go 0 thumbs. Like, I don't blame her for that.
0 thumbs?
Yeah.
All right.
Food. Yum.
I don't know what I expected with the food. It's been a long time since I've been to a Fridays, probably college, so maybe a dozen years for me. And I guess with the popularity of the place, I expected more.
Popularity of the place.
Well, okay. What I think I've realized is people don't really choose a Fridays. They go to a Fridays because it is just the closest thing to them geographically.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the clientele of a Fridays.
I've only eaten at Fridays because of convenience. There used to be one next to one of my friend's apartments. And we always met up there. We ate there a lot, but it's right next to his place. So where are we going to go eat? The place we can walk to.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And like in this same shopping center, it's not like there was a ton else.
No, there's like a Walmart. There was a Best Buy. Like, there were plenty of non-restaurant reasons to be there.
Right. And then it's just like, I'm hungry. I guess there's that Fridays over there. Yeah, I guess we'll eat there. Hope I don't get murdered.
Which is funny. Applebee's doesn't have that problem. Applebee's is kind of like, I guess I'll eat there. They have cheap booze.
Like, you'll eat at an Applebee's even if they're next to something else.
Yeah, like Applebee's, like, oh, half off apps, half off drinks. Okay, they'll pull you in with cheap booze and cheap appetizers. They're known for that.
Well, and we now know a great burger that we can get at an Applebee's as well. So
Fridays doesn't have any of these things to pull you in.
No. I almost got confused when I walked in. I was like, wait, how the hell did I end up here? And I was like, oh yeah, there's a podcast. There is an active reason why we're here. But it sure as hell ain't the food.
No.
I will say, it started off stronger than anything. I think my favorite thing of the night was the appetizer, the whiskey glazed sesame chicken strips. I do feel that calling them strips is generous. Like, in terms of shape, these were
boneless wings.
These were nuggets. Yeah, boneless. These were boneless wings. Like, they were very small.
If I got this from Wingstop, I'd be disappointed.
Flavor-wise? Size-wise? Okay. Yeah, I guess I expected something bigger, but I liked the taste of this. The sesame actually really came through. The whiskey glaze was distinct from it. And so the two flavors kind of blended in a way I liked. Sauce was tasty. I'm going to go 7.5 out of 10 on this.
The taste was fine. Like, I liked the soy garlic of it. Like, there was a garlic aftertaste that came through that I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I thought about this, okay, there's a flavor that kicks you, but it's really just corn syrup.
Yeah, but I mean,
Like,
hey.
Honestly, the chicken was kind of dry, a little stringy, wasn't that big. Breading was crispy, but it was unremarkable. These were structurally unremarkable frozen garbage.
Frozen garbage.
They made up with a decent flavor. So I'm going to go 6 out of 10 on the strength of the flavor alone.
Once we got past this starter, this appetizer, looking at the rest of the menu, there was nothing that just stood out and said, order me.
Yeah, the layout was probably done by like the COO's 12-year-old child. You could tell it's like, oh, my kid is good with Adobe. Let's give him this. Like, this was made by a bullshit human that has no concept of graphic design.
Sure, but also, I'm just talking about the actual selections of food.
Yeah, that too, but like, you need to be able to read the menu.
I mean, it wasn't in Russian.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't too small.
But
it was just the organization was weird.
To draw your eyes anywhere. It was just like a freaking newspaper with color.
I would
That's all
just
this
say,
was.
The amount of options that we had on this menu that looked appetizing were way too little.
This is way too little.
And now this is sad. I remember going to TGI Fridays and having the menu actually look appetizing.
Or excite you in some way.
Just like with things like a half-page spread with pictures of their ribs. They used to like feature their ribs more.
I mean, they had a big picture of like the little sauce brush going across a very zoomed in part of a rib at the top of the thing. But yeah, I mean, nothing was just like, ooh, yeah, I want that. By the time it came to order, I was just like, yeah, I might as well do that. It wasn't a standout. And in fact, it was way too little. All right. So after we kind of just decided on a last minute thing to get, what did you end up ordering?
I got the Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
And that came with fries, right?
Yes.
How'd you feel about them?
These were supposed to be seasoned fries. There was a piddly amount of seasoning on them. They weren't crispy. They were slightly soggy. So right away, I'm just like, hey, man, try these before they get cold. They're going to be bad then.
Yeah.
Which immediately they were passable.
Right.
At first, they were 5 out of 10 fries.
I gave it a 6 out of 10, but yeah, passable. Very, very mediocre.
I don't know. They should have like fried these again. Left them in the fryer longer. Double fry them. Do something to...
Refried fries.
Actually, yeah. Double frying your French fries is the way to get a really nice crisp coating.
Once they were no longer warm, were they even passable? Or
nah,
did you
were just bullshit.
You just kind of stopped eating them? Gotcha. All right, tell me about the sandwich.
This is such a bad description, but it looked okay. It was visually appealing. It almost could look like an advertisement. The colors were bright with all of the elements of the coleslaw.
So it's like they sprayed it with hairspray to make it glisten?
Yeah, like it wasn't very spicy. If you go to Dave's Hot Chicken, maybe this is light mild, if that.
Right.
I want some flavor on this. It was a little soggy. The patty was way too thin. It's like they pounded it katsu style, which I don't know if they did.
Sure.
I'm going to have to give this a 5.5 out of 10 because it wasn't great at all, but it stopped me from being hungry.
What an endorsement. And so I got the thing that I guess people were telling me they were known for. I kind of, when I sat down, was like, I have no idea what a Fridays is even known for, but y'all were telling me the ribs. So I got Fridays big ribs with apple butter barbecue, came with mashed potatoes, and I got a tomato, cucumber, and onion salad, which is in like a vinaigrette. It was fine. It was tomato, cucumber, and onion. That's what it tasted like. It was just raw foods. I give it a 5 out of 10. The mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes, Garrett. You love mashed potatoes. This was, again, just fine. It's about what I expected. I honestly am surprised it didn't come in styrofoam. Like, that's kind of how it tasted. I gave it a 5 out of 10. And then the ribs, the apple butter barbecue was just very sweet. This is like candy ribs. which sounds insane.
Sweet barbecue sauces are a thing, but
Yeah,
we're not fans of that, though.
well, I do like sweet. It was just a case of, I think it kind of hit my limit, especially for a barbecue sauce. On a dessert, my sweet tooth is insatiable. On ribs, it's a different bar. So I went 6 out of 10 overall on Friday's big ribs. The meat it tasted like human veal.
Yeah.
It was very tender, but it didn't have a lot of texture to it. There was no char. Steven was kind of pointing that out, that a good char is kind of necessary for good ribs. Steven and I are both Texans. I think we see eye to eye on ribs. What we don't see eye to eye on is cheese. Now, Steven is our cheese correspondent. He did come and order a cheese dish, and he is here right now. So, Steven, you know what? I'm going to give you a minute to review your cheesy item from TGI Fridays. Let's hear it.
Hey everybody, it's cheese correspondent Steven Zurita again, in person this time.
Ooh, another character who's peripheral enough that I can kill him off and it's no big deal.
I got the sizzling chicken and cheese. The chicken breasts in the dish were perfectly cooked.
Ah, damn it, I left my machete at the lake. What else is here?
Menu said it was supposed to be garlic marinated.
Ooh, looky, a bunch of spinning fan blades on the table behind them. I could weaponize that.
It came on top of... It came on top of sliced and grilled peppers and onions. The cheese itself was disappointing. It was really just 2 slices of Kraft singles. I was expecting like a lot of gooey. Okay, can someone please turn that off?
Yes,
I really can't stay in my seat. This fan setting is irresponsibly high.
You got murdered by fine dining's biggest fan. Not Jason, but Juice-Son. Get it?
Anyways, Garrett, you got onion rings as well.
Yeah, okay. These onion rings were just as much of a tragedy. They said they were Cajun seasoned. Okay, I can't even go through and say it. They said they were Cajun seasoned. They sprinkled like a little bit of cayenne pepper and paprika and shit on them.
Ooh, how Cajun.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
These onion rings were wimpy and stringy on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't even call this a good frozen onion ring. This was bullshit.
That bad.
But it's an onion ring, so 4.5 out of 10.
I mean, you offered me a bite and I was just like, I think I'm good. Like, just nothing about the food here inspired anything in me. It's pretty middling,
It is,
if I'm being honest.
middling.
Now, usually the best part about these places is going to be desserts. I feel like not just the desserts, but the appetizers too. Everything needed to be served in a skillet for some reason, but it wasn't like a real skillet. I don't know if it was just an aesthetic choice or to make you think that the food would be hot before it comes out lukewarm. But they were these plastic skillets that all the desserts, all the appetizers, I'm honestly certain some sides and entrees also come in them. And I thought it was way too much.
This is...
I want to thank them for that. They're trying to give us weapons to defend ourselves. That is our only option.
When you're locked inside of a TGI Fridays in an eternal Friday that will not end, and you're covered in blood of your friends, 3 of them have died already, you in fact do want a weapon, and I guess a plastic skillet cuts it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That leap was in fact way too much. So the first of the 2 desserts was the brownie obsession. This was a brownie covered in ice cream, caramel, whatnot.
And candied walnut bits.
And those were good.
Yeah.
I liked this, but it was very sticky. I put it in my mouth and I felt like, when you give a dog peanut butter for like hiding a pill or something? When you're drugging your dogs?
Yeah.
I felt like that in my mouth, just like a constant trying to get the stickiness out.
And the chocolate sauce tasted really cheap.
I thought it tasted good.
Example, I have some chocolate sauce at home I got from Strike after a Gordon Ramsay show.
Uh-huh.
That's amazing chocolate sauce.
Yeah.
That is chocolate sauce.
Sure.
And this was just that Hershey's crap that sits in your parents' fridge for over a decade.
Honestly, that is an accurate amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has ever finished one of those. And when you do get to the bottom of it, it lasts forever even more.
Yeah.
Like there's like a perpetual amount of chocolate that just conjures.
That's what was on this dish.
Yeah. I went 7.5 out of 10.
I only went 5 out of 10. I can't rate this highly when the quality of the ingredients is absolute garbage.
I also had a moment where I cupped my hand to take a bite of the chocolate and transport it over to my mouth. I didn't even see a thing drop, but apparently a thing of chocolate dropped and just splat on my shoe. And
you were sad.
I was this was my second time wearing this pair of shoes. They are brand new shoes, and there was a big chocolate splotch on it, and I felt helpless. You guys were walking me through how to wipe it away because you know what, Garrett? Because I have a bidet, and I've forgotten how to wipe messes away. I just spray it. I'm just used to spraying it.
And that was the solution to your shoe, in essence.
Yeah.
Club soda.
I got club soda, which my bidet does not shoot club soda. But yeah, I was definitely like, do I wipe against the shoe or towards the grain? Yeah, I was asking for a tutorial on wiping because it's been a while. This makes me sound like a filthy human being. This is for a bit, people. This is for a comedy bit. And then the other dessert, Garrett, the Cinnabon caramel pecan cheesecake.
It's Cinnabon. We had to.
No, it was ruled in court. A judge ruled that you can't get Cinnabon-branded desserts. They don't count. Go back and listen to our Cinnabon episode. We had extensive litigation on this. Why, Garrett? Why'd you have to do it?
Because it looked good.
Honestly, it didn't.
On the menu, it looked good. So it looked like a normal slice of cheesecake on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
But when it arrived,
it looked sad.
It looked plastic. It had the consistency of warmed goo. And it.
What a review.
Have you ever eaten warm frosting that's been sitting out on the counter for a day?
No.
This was what this was like. It was the texture of warm frosting that's been sitting out on the counter all day.
That's not fun. Well, I didn't eat it because it's ineligible. But what did you score it?
This is a 5 out of 10. It's a sweet dessert, so I'm not going to go lower than that.
Yeah.
It provided a nice little sugar kick at the end of the meal, but I didn't enjoy it at all.
Sure.
Oh, another thing. It had the consistency of toothpaste. Stale frosting and toothpaste with some nice candied walnut bits, which were actually enjoyable.
So overall on the food, I'm going no thumbs. I enjoyed the brownie obsession enough. Everything else was just like right in the middle. And the appetizer I did kind of like. So the stuff I didn't like was at least balanced enough to where, I'm just going to go no thumbs.
Same here. No thumbs. Everything pretty close to a 5 on average.
Yeah.
Nothing to write home about here.
All right. Well, we got to factor all of this together and put it into a rating. But before we do, we got to go to Yelp and see what other people are saying about this TGI Fridays location in this week's Yelp from Strangers.
We need a little Yelp, a little Yelp from strangers. A 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4 or 5. So get a little Yelp, a little Yelp from strangers. A little Yelp. Give us those complaints while you literally whine and die. Yelp!
All right, this is Yelp from Strangers, where we turn to Yelp and read out our favorite 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5-star Yelp reviews of the restaurant we went to.
2-star review.
I'm going to start us off with a 2-star review. This is from Pam M. 3 months ago. She's done 201 Yelp reviews, so she's pretty seasoned. Fridays is the same wherever you go. It's clean, but it seems like it has an oily layer over everything.
How is that clean?
Yeah, I don't know if oily is... Oh, it's clean. Just ignore the layer of grease.
Ugh.
Prepare for a very basic and mid-meal. We were seated quickly and we ordered drinks. They showed up fast.
She must have been a rewards member.
The drinks were just okay. Basic well drink or a premix, they were strong my enough. Yeah, they were definitely strong enough after
they were.
that sentence composition. I ordered one of their big burgers, the Philly. It said it had roast beef on a burger that had melted cheese and onions, peppers with a egg roll skewer. I said, please hold the onions and peppers. She said no problem. Then she bring me this burger. There's a picture. It is absolutely plain. There is nothing on it except for nothing.
Nice.
She tells me it's all mixed in, so they had to hold it all. Where is the roast beef? I wanted my cheese. I tried to eat it, and it just tastes like oily disappointment. I feel like she just learned the word oily recently. Yeah. She's like, oh, it applies here. If she would have communicated with me, I would have ordered something different. This is exactly why I don't come here. 2 stars. Yeah, what else do you say to that review other than that's an expected experience someone can have at a TGI Fridays?
3-star review.
Here we go. Now let's go with a 3-star review from Arnold A. 16 days ago. And his profile picture is Eric Cartman.
You know, I thought that was noteworthy as well.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's just noteworthy.
And also on Eric Cartman, if you zoom in, he has a shirt that says, warning, Yelp critic.
That is perfect. We were in an area where there's an island restaurant and a TGIG. I had not been to a TGIF, now he got it right, since 1994, and now I remember why.
Yeah.
The food is mediocre with a limited selection. Truth. We ordered overpriced chips and salsa to start, which are a disappointment. Not a rewards member, else those would have been free.
We would know.
They give very little salsa, so we ordered a second side of salsa. It was brought out way after our food was delivered, although we reminded the waitress. The 2 much smaller portions were too late by then. The bacon ranch chicken sandwich was okay, but nothing to brag about. Friday's Long Island iced tea was more lemonade than anything else. I guess I'll be skipping this place for the next 20 plus years once again. Ma'am.
Honestly, that's my favorite line in the whole review. I'll be skipping this place for the next 20 plus years once again. I really do hope that in 20 years, Arnold goes back to a Fridays and re-reviews it for Yelp.
Not gonna lie, I don't think Fridays is gonna be around in 20 years. I don't think most of these places are gonna be around in 20 years.
This podcast is gonna be like a museum.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of artifacts of, oh, remember that?
It's gonna be like one of those VH1 Remember the 80s shows.
Yeah. You can go download our full Yelp from Strangers segment at our Patreon. The link for that is in the description of this episode, or you can go to patreon.com/finediningpodcast. And we're now offering a 1-week free trial, so what do you have to lose? Go check it out. People have wild opinions, and we get to read oh so many of them. Thanks.
Final rating.
So when we put everything together, I mean, my thumb ratings were 1 down, 1 down, and no thumbs. But you had no thumbs all across the board.
I was all nubs.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to go first. There was absolutely nothing spectacular about this restaurant.
No.
And surprisingly, nothing really offensive. The murder happened, but we're at a murder room restaurant.
We're down 3 friends. It's thematic.
I think it's part of the show.
Sure.
So I look back at my other restaurants that I'd rate in a similar zone.
Sure.
Like Denny's, which I gave a 5.02.
Sure.
Applebee's, which I gave a 5.04.
Uh-huh.
Johnny Rockets, 5.03.
So the 3 you mentioned, would you rather go to those or Fridays?
And I'd rather go to all 3 of those.
Really?
Yeah. But not by very much.
Okay.
So you know what? I'll give it a 5.0. This is the most mediocre restaurant for me.
Really?
Perfect.
Wow.
5.00.
Perfectly adequate, not so good or too bad at it. I've got to be your perfect 5. I'm perfectly adequate, as unexceptional as you can get. Tell me and I'll feel alive.
I'm honestly happy for you that you now have also found a perfectly average. For me, it was Applebee's, but we got to agree. And in this case, unfortunately, we just don't. I guess I had a more negative experience with the service. The atmosphere just made me sad a little bit. I didn't think this place was like abysmal, but I definitely don't have it in the same vein as those other places that I would put at or above 5. So for me, TGI Fridays, I'm going to go 4.55. And that means it goes up on the tchotchke of mediocrity.
You okay?
No, I'm
What's
good.
coming
I'm
out
good.
of your mouth?
4.78.
Less than mediocre, not quite as good as Applebee's.
Holy shit, dude. You're foaming, man. Whoa, whoa.
I'm fine, Garrett.
Get off me, man. Stop it. You shit when you die.
That's not the sound of shitting.
Okay, just
That's like a bird mating call.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh my God. My rabies. From when I was bit by a dog and I talked about it in the Denny's episode. It finally finished incubating and I killed Garrett. I killed my friend. I'm not supposed to be the killer in this, though.
Oh, hi there. Crazy Job again. Remember earlier in the episode when I said this place has a death curse? This is more or less what I meant. Yeah, but in the movies, Jason's the killer. Actually, in the first movie, spoiler alert, cover your ears if you haven't seen the first Friday the 13th, but plan to, it's Jason's parent, and your Juice-Son's parent.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So what happens to me?
Oh, you don't want to know.
What happens to you?
Well, I'm supposed to get strangled to death with barbed wire, but I combed the place high and low and got rid of all the barbed wire I could find. So I'm in the clear.
No, you're not.
Ah! Where'd you come from?
I'm the killer. I can kinda hide wherever.
Is that barbed wire in your hand?
Yes, I brought my own.
I hadn't considered that. Well, you'll never take me alive.
I don't plan to.
Hey! Juicy, stop. He's our sponsor.
Not anymore, he's not. Any last words?
I gotta go. Okay? Bye.
Bleh. Juicy, damn it. Is anyone even alive still in this episode?
Michael.
Yeah.
Come back to us.
What?
Dude, you have been out for a week.
What happened?
Your rabies flared up, and I don't know how you got over it, but you've been in this feverish state for a full week. You know how many times the nurses had to change your bedpan?
Why is that funny? Hold on.
A grown man involuntarily using a bedpan is kind of funny.
Did you see that too, Sandy?
Oh, yes.
Herbert?
Yeah. Yes.
Steven?
Yeah.
Did we even actually go to a TGI Fridays?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
And you're still here?
Yeah, we're all here, man.
Wait, did you actually order a Cinnabon-branded dessert?
Of course I did. You don't remember that? What?
We had an agreement. Well, I guess that's it for Garrett. I need to figure out where I'm going to go next week, and I guess I have free reign to choose wherever I want. Wait, are you a ghost?
Pretty obviously killed me. So I'm either a ghost or you're imagining this.
Well, there's no way that you have unfinished business. You just gave a 5.00.
You freaking murdered me, man.
All right, well, do you want to play the headline game with me, Ghost Garrett, and we'll figure out where to go next time?
Let's go.
The rules of the headline game are as follows. Michael will present 3 headlines to Garrett that include this week's restaurant. They can be made up or they can be actual headlines. If Garrett can correctly guess if at least 2 out of 3 are real or fake, he will get to select next week's restaurant. However, if Michael stumps him, he'll select again. Are you ready to play, fellas?
Ooh, I'm spookily ready.
Florida man arrested after starting
True.
brawl
Florida man.
with TGI Fridays staff over smoking indoors.
You said Florida man. True. Ghost me is still me.
Roaches, rodent droppings closed TGI Fridays near USF.
Central Florida is one of those special places just like the Panhandle.
Uh-huh.
True.
All right. Last one. Snakehead served at TGI Fridays.
Was it in Florida?
I actually don't know.
I'm just going to go true again. It seems like a thing that would happen at TGI Fridays in Florida.
All right. So you say, Florida man arrested after starting brawl with TGI Fridays staff over smoking indoors. You said true because Florida man, and I used that against you. Garrett, I made up that headline.
I'm a ghost. I don't really care.
Roaches, rodent droppings closed TGI Fridays near USF. That is in Florida. You said true. That is true. And lastly, Snakehead served at TGI Fridays. You said true. Garrett, that is true.
Was this an accident?
A man in upstate New York was just enjoying his meal at TGI Fridays when, much to his horror, he found a severed snakehead among his vegetables. The man said he became disgusted when he looked down at his plate and saw eye sockets staring back at him. The serpentine surprise is being taken very seriously by the restaurant chain, which has requested a full investigation into the matter. It was determined that the snakehead was not cooked with the vegetables, but in fact planted by a prankster in the vegetables. I have to laugh about it now, because if I don't, I'll start to gag again, the man who found the head said.
Wow.
So that means Ghost Garrett has won the headline game. I don't know if you're able to physically eat anymore or go with me to a restaurant, but I will continue this journey in search of the definitive most mediocre restaurant. Where should I go next time?
You murdered me.
Why? You ordered Cinnabon.
There's only one place I will send you.
Uh-huh.
This will be your favorite restaurant of all. The options are tailored to your exact dietary likings. You're going to go to the Melting Pot.
No! I'm not going to go to a cheese fondue place.
You either go to the Melting Pot or I haunt you for the rest of your life.
All right. Next time, I'm going to go to the Melting Pot. And I guess I'll have a guest host with me. Garrett, it's been 40 episodes. I'm sorry it had to come down to murder. But genuinely, this has been a very fun experience to do with you. And I'm going to miss you a lot.
It is time. I am moving on.
Well, I'm emotional right now. One last time. We didn't find the most mediocre restaurant in America. The search does in fact continue. Have a fine day.
Garrett was a fussy little boy. Garrett was a fussy little boy. Baby, Garrett was a fussy little boy. And now he's gone. Garrett was a fussy little boy. Garrett was a fussy little boy. Oh, baby, Garrett was a fussy little boy. And now he's gone. And now he's gone. Now he's gone. Why?
Have a fine day.